Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural Blue Notes Music for Democracy with Sister District Project, Mass, Rhode Island. I'm Juliet, a volunteer and member of the Sister District Mass, Rhode Island Steering Committee. Before we embark on the happy portion of the evening, let me take a moment to acknowledge the anguish and rage boiling over in this country. We at Sister District grieve the deaths of every Black American who has been a victim of police brutality. We abhor the original sin on which this country is founded, and we continue to protest the dehumanization of our fellow citizens in one of the best ways we can think of, by electing progressives to state legislatures, where they can make laws, for example, laws around policing, that repair rather than exacerbate the damage that's been done. And may I say, thank God for the salvation of music. You are in for a treat tonight. We are featuring 4 supremely talented musicians who are generously donating their time and talent on behalf of democracy. Laura Vecchioni, a Boston-based singer, songwriter, and voice teacher. Laura has recorded 3 albums with Grammy Award-winning producers, and her songs have been featured on national radio and television. Laura is thrilled to be singing in support of Brittney Rodas and Sister District. Danielle Miraglia graduated from Emerson College with a creative writing degree before finding her true calling at an open mic night. Her group, Danielle M. and the Glory Junkies, was nominated for a 2018 Boston Music Award for Blues Artist of the Year. And Danielle is currently working on a solo acoustic folk blues record to be released soon. Jen Kearney is a Boston native who has recorded and released 6 studio albums. She spent the last 2 years in London, touring the UK with her own act and with the legendary Snowboy and the Latin Section, and has appeared with the likes of Maceo Parker, Los Lobos, Mavis Staples, and more. Finally, Lisa Bastoni is a Massachusetts-based singer-songwriter and mother of 2 who returned to music in 2017 following a 10-year hiatus. Her most recent album, How We Want to Live, has aired on radio stations nationally and reached #1 for contemporary folk this year. Lisa is a 2019 Boston Music Award nominee and winner of the Kerrville New Folk Contest for 2020. These 4 songbirds are helping us fundraise for Brittney Rodas, who's running for a seat in Pennsylvania House District 105, and who may very well make an appearance tonight, so stay tuned. For the musicians' sake, we'll keep all of you on mute until after each song, when we'll unmute you and you can erupt in boisterous applause. If you'd like to applaud during a performance, feel free to do the Zoom clap, which looks sort of like jazz hands like this. If you press the chat function at the bottom of your screen, you can type in comments during the event at any time. Time permitting, the musicians will stick around after the performance for questions. We will be recording and posting this event to Facebook, so if you'd like to turn off your video, please do so. Finally, please tip our hardworking musicians at Laura Vecchioni's Venmo or PayPal accounts, which are behind me on the screen. And I think they're also in the chat section. And all the tips will be divided between the 4 musicians. For those of you unfamiliar with Sister District Project, we are a national grassroots organization of almost 40,000 volunteers working to flip state legislatures from red to blue. Last year, we raised over $800,000 for progressive state candidates, and our musicians will tell you more about why states matter. Our candidate tonight, Brittney Rodas, has been endorsed by both women's groups and labor unions. She's particularly committed to increasing the minimum wage, funding public education, and providing adequate resources for healthcare and substance abuse treatment, issues that really matter to Pennsylvanians. Okay, that's enough talking. Now, without further ado, Laura Vecchioni.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming out and coming together this evening. I'm just really grateful that you're here. And I am singing for Sister District because states matter in the fight for social justice. This has been an incredibly painful weekend, few months. And I will say their names: George Floyd, and before him, Breonna Taylor, and so many more. And states matter because they make policy reform, like police reform, and criminal justice reform. And also tied to social justice, and this particular election, is the issue of gerrymandering. And this particular election in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania is one of the most egregiously gerrymandered states. And if you probably already know if you're here, but if you don't know, to gerrymander is to draw the electoral maps in such a way that it favors one class or one party. And this is a census year. So whoever is elected in 2020 will help redraw the redistricting maps for the next 10 years. And so we want some democratic representation. And I want to move on to why I wore this particular t-shirt. This is a shirt that is 20 to 25 years older than our candidate. She is half my age, and this shirt was my mother's in the 1970s, and it says, "A woman's place belongs in the House and the Senate." So it is really that old. And I'm speaking about my mother because my first song is about my mother, and my head is cut off. Hold on. And my mom was the first person to make me politically aware. In the 1970s, my mom was part of League of Women Voters. She was part of voter registration initiatives, recycling initiatives, studies on wetlands and the importance of the environment. And one little tidbit I like to share is that when we would go grocery shopping in the 1970s, she would only buy the laundry detergent ERA because she supported the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. So in 1962, my mom taught for a year before marrying my dad in Italy. She taught in a very underserved community in Red Hook, Brooklyn. My mother was from Brooklyn. And she was only 23 or 24, but these children, who were mostly Black and Latino, really changed her awareness, and she raised us with awareness. And my mom was from Brooklyn, so she would speak straight up. And sometimes it was tactlessly, but she always spoke the truth. And she would say, "You kids don't understand how hard it is for Black Americans." And we would say, "Oh, Mom, it's so embarrassing. It's not like that anymore." And yet here we are today. And this is 3 months from my mother's death. And I am realizing more and more that my mother was right about everything that we are seeing. So I'm really proud that I was raised by someone who raised me with that awareness. This is a song called Jane. The first line says, "My mother was a twin, and when I came in, I was named for the one whose life didn't flower. My mother was named after her mother's twin, who died in 1902 when my grandmother was 2 years old. This threw my grandmother into such a depression that she couldn't look at the surviving twin, Martha. And so this began a pattern of mothers who really didn't have the nurturing to be nurturers themselves. And my mother didn't have the confidence that she might have had for someone so brilliant. But once she took a writing class, and I was so proud of her, so I wrote this song on behalf of her, and her name is Jane. Well, my mother was a twin, and when I came in, I was named for the one whose life didn't flower. Oh no. So she kept the neatest house in town and dared the dirt to take down another one. You know that my name is Jane and I'm from the ridge of a bay. You know I've had some pain and now I got something to say. And I might not write it right and I might get it all wrong, but I'm gonna get it down, down, down anyway. Well, I never could breathe in a house like a museum. Oh, there isn't much room to ever know where you could grow. And the rafters seem to hold memories of what might have been. You know that my name is Jane and I'm from the ridge of a bay. You know I've had some pain and now I got something to say. And I might not write it right and I might get it all wrong, but I'm gonna get it down, down, down anyway. Said I'm gonna get it down, 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 anyway. 60 years of grieving someone else's losses, bearing other people's crosses, and heralding another yet to come. Forgetting I am also a beloved one, a beloved one. Well, I've got 2 girls, and they are to me the world, and they try so hard to risk so many things. I want to give them wings, so I'm gonna claim what's mine, and then they can take the breath of the sky. You know that my name is Jane, and I'm from the ridge of a bay. You know I've had some pain, but now I got something to say, and I might not write it right, and I might get it all wrong, but I'm gonna get it down, down, down anyway. Said I'm gonna get it down, down, down anyway. Next up, I think, is Danielle Miraglia.
Hi. Am I here? Am I in the room? How is everybody? That's a tough act to follow. That was beautiful, Laura. I just moved. Okay, so I moved this weekend. We just finally got out of the other place. And I'm singing for Sister District because state races matter. I'm surrounded by boxes right now, okay? When you think about the state of things in this country right now, it feels completely overwhelming to think about it as a whole, right? But if you think about it state by state, it's so much more manageable, right? We can take it state by state, just like I'm gonna take this move box by box. I'm gonna dig out of this house box by box. And I feel like those boxes are states. So this is why state races matter. This is why I'm here. And also because it's a great thing to share with all of you and with my good friends here. So I'm gonna start with a song I wrote a bunch of years ago, just about when things are at their toughest and at their darkest, they can only get better, right? So this is called See the Light. Ground is white, sky is black. Nothing but ice on the subway track. Straight and narrow path, got a big old crack. The ones who bought the halos want their money back. But I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. It's so dark I can see the light. Fridge is empty, cash is gone. There's a beggar in a high rise with a 3-piece on. And everybody's saying it won't be long. His Santa's in drag and he's singing a song. But I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. It's so dark I can see the light. It's just like a rocket, no money down. Here's the last bill in my pocket, let me buy a round. One big boat in the muddy ground. Nobody sleeps alone a rock bottom now. But I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. I'm alright if you're alright. It's so dark I can see the light. I can see the light. I can see the light. 'Cause I'm alright if you're alright. I hope everybody's doing alright. Yeah, I can see the light. Can you see the light? Can you see the light? Yeah, I can see the light. I can see the light. Can you see the light? Can you see the a little bit softer now? A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now.
And now I think we have our next musician coming up. And that is going to be, to remind me, is that going to be Lisa or Jen?
I think it's me. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Jen Kearney. I'm really honored to be singing for Sister District and fundraising for Brittney Rodas tonight. Just to talk a little bit more about states and fundraising. Obviously, state campaigns operate on a shoestring budget, so your contribution makes a huge impact at that level. And Brittney is stuck at home like the rest of us, so she can't meet voters in person, and getting her name out there in the virtual world is really important right now. Yeah, I love these ladies that I'm singing with tonight. We meet up actually virtually every week. We've been meeting up for a long time as a songwriter group, and they're great friends of mine. It's so great to be here singing with them tonight. I did a lot of reading about Brittney's story, and it's really touching why she's decided to get into politics, and she is deeply concerned about the issues that are affecting the working class. So I'd like to do a tune called In the Neighborhood, which is about gentrification, and that certainly affects populations in neighborhoods. And I really feel that everybody has a right to affordable housing and the dignity that comes with that. So this is a song called In the Neighborhood. See 'em sniffing around down the street, scavenging wolves, picking up the scent of dead meat. They're gonna build a high-rise, blocking out grandmama's view. Flash some dollars in her face as they start to chew, and say we were just in the neighborhood. Just in the neighborhood, yeah, just in the neighborhood, just in the neighborhood, yeah, we were just in the neighborhood, just in the neighborhood, just in the neighborhood. The silence of these lambs is deafening, so desensitized to the beckoning. Fly, 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 Clarice. They're gonna gentrify you right out of your lease, and say we were just in your neighborhood. Just in the neighborhood, just in your neighborhood, oh, just in the neighborhood, yeah, we were just in your neighborhood.
It's funny, this is the same place they used to drive through and say, roll the windows up like all the doors. Now they're picking out tile and wood floors. Pack it up if you're too hard to stay in the neighborhood. Hey, hey. Just in the neighborhood. Just in the neighborhood. Just in your neighborhood. Just in the neighborhood. Oh, yeah. Just in the neighborhood. Just in the neighborhood. Yeah, just in the neighborhood. Yeah, we were just in the neighborhood. Oh, just in the neighborhood. Yeah, we were just in your neighborhood. Yeah, just in the neighborhood. Yeah, just in the neighborhood.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I think that my friend Lisa Bastoni is next.
That was awesome, Jen. My name is Lisa Bastoni, and I am just honored to be here tonight to be part of this event. Thank you all for joining us. I'm singing for Sister District because state laws often become national laws. State policies can serve as test cases and can become national policy if they prove useful. If you look at Massachusetts, we were the first state in the nation to legalize same-sex marriage in 2004, and I remember how exciting that day was. And years before the Affordable Care Act, we had Romney Care in 2006. Our state legislators have been pioneers who have made a national impact. Let's get pioneers into the Pennsylvania state legislature too. I am going to sing a song that I feel like I wrote about 1 million years ago, but it was only 3 years ago, 2017, a song I wrote for Elizabeth Warren that I was lucky enough to sing for her, and I think it was 2018. This is a song I wrote called She Persisted. Can somebody give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay? All right, good. She's a rebel with a cause from the state of Massachusetts. She held the floor, she held a letter from the wife of Dr. King. She was bold. They said, Lizzie, take a seat. But she was warned, but she persisted. And it was close to midnight in the land of the free. And I saw a revolution unfolding on TV. She stood outside where everyone could see. Well, she was bold and she persisted. Oh, Coretta said, freedom is never really won. You gotta win it in every generation. Will you take a stand? Will you rise again? We are fighting for the spirit of our nation. And I went upstairs to where my daughter lay sleeping, with 1,000,000 hearts and rainbows on the wall beside her bed. And I lay down to whisper in her ear the story of a woman who persisted. Well, she's a rebel with a cause from the state of Massachusetts. She held the floor, she held a letter from the wife of Dr. King, and she was bold. They said, Lizzie, take a seat, but she was warned, and she persisted. Well, she was warned, and she persisted.
Lisa, you made me cry.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Laura Vecchione, Danielle Miraglia, Jen Kearney, and Lisa Bastoni. You remind us that a civilization is defined not only by its politics and its laws and its morals, but by its art. Art and music can teach us, move us, and really buoy us during dark times. So thank you very, very much for that. And now I believe that Brittney is in the house. Is that true? Are the rumors true? Brittney, are you in the house? And would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, absolutely. It is true. I am here. Thank you guys so much for having me this evening. And thank you so much to all four of you incredible women. I mean, sorry, my daughter is also here with me tonight. So she's taking part in this too. Your music is so beautiful, and I can relate to each and every song that you've played on a very, very emotional, personal level. Can you do that, please? So everybody knows my name is Brittney Rodas. I'm running for state representative here in Pennsylvania, and there are so many reasons why I decided to get into the race, but we're seeing more and more come out every single day about all of the reasons why we need true leaders in our community. And my heart aches for what's happening in my community right now, and across the nation. And, you know, when I see my legislature and my specific legislator decide to sit and do nothing in the face of racial injustice, it just motivates me so much more to make sure that we win this November. So I'm so sorry. She was really excited about the music, so I let her come in, and she's just really excited. So we are really grateful for this event tonight, and we're going to try and stay through the whole thing as long as she lets me. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the organizing you have done, and all the fundraising, and all the work that we're going to continue to do moving forward. So with that, I will kick it back over to you. And again, just thank you so much. Can you say thank you? Thank you guys so much.
And we support you 100%. And now let us get back to the music. Everybody has another song for us, and I think we're going to start with Lisa Bastoni. Welcome back.
So I wrote a song for my daughter. It's really for girls everywhere, though. It's called Beautiful Girl. A girl in the woods with a knife and a loaf of bread comes upon a pack of wild, hungry dogs. She'll use the knife to cut the bread, making sure they're all fed, and maybe save a little for herself. 'Cause it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be brave and scared. I want you to know that I love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl. And when you were a baby and I held you in my arms, sometimes we look out at the stars together. To the moon and back I said, I tell you now so you won't forget, so you'll remember when the going gets harder, that it's alright to be gentle, and it's alright to be kind, and it's alright to be brave and scared. I want you to know that I love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl. And someday when you're older and you feel a little lost in the woods with a knife and some bread, well, I hope you'll build a fire, spread your blankets in the sun. I hope you'll still see there's enough for you and there's enough for everyone. And it's all right to be gentle, and it's all right to be kind, and it's all right to be angry. It's all right to change your mind, and it's all right to be fierce, and it's all right to fight, and it's all right to be happy. It's all right to cry when you need to cry. And it's all right to be gentle, and it's all right to be kind, and it's all right to be brave and scared. I want you to know that I love you more than anything in this world. I want you to know that you're a beautiful girl. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much for all that you're doing. Thank you. I think Jen Kearney is next.
Yes. Thanks again to Sister District and Brittney and everybody that's out there trying to do something about our country. This is a tune that I wrote shortly after the shutdown started. It's called Riding on Water, which is an idiom that's used when we're, you know, if you're riding on water, it doesn't make much impact. It just floats away. So, you know, of course, in this time, we're hoping that we're not riding on water. And, you know, it's kind of a tune it's a bit dark, but I give it till the end because it gets a little more hopeful. So.
Wind is strong today. Nobody outside but the birds of prey. They circle gracefully while we stay inside and wait. The word came down that day. Them nights got no arm to stand in harm's way. But the king sent him out, and his minions all shouted that they want it all back to normal today. Have we learned anything at all? Are we riding on water? Are the veils gonna fall? Have we learned it all? Have we learned anything at all? So it's crossed fingers on washed hands, needle drop on your canceled plans, wait on your government check and just hope for the best. And for the lives it's cost, no words can shoulder, no grammar can hold all the prayers and thoughts and apologies for loss. Just don't feel like enough, just don't feel like enough at all. Are we riding on water, or are the veils gonna fall? Have we learned it all? Have we learned anything? Maybe another gonna rise. Maybe we'll feed that good wolf inside. Maybe we'll go back to the garden and thrive. Maybe we'll bloom at exactly the right time. Maybe I'll hold your face in my hands again. But until then, take this lullaby. We may be distant, we can still be like the old stars we're all made of. We may be distant, we can still be wise, like billion-year-old stars we're all made of. We may be distant, baby, we can still be like. So please, please, please keep your light on.
My friend Danielle Miraglia is next. Thanks again.
That was amazing, Jen. I failed to give you a proper intro earlier. I forgot that I was supposed to mention that you were coming up next. So I'm giving you an outro. I'm outroducing you. That was incredible. You inspired me to do the only quarantine song that I've actually written. Thank you guys so much for having us. And thank you to Sister District for putting this on and for caring. And this is, I'm going to do the one song I've written since we've been in quarantine. This is for anybody who's, for anybody in any situation right now. And we'll all come out a little rougher in the mix after this, but hopefully, hopefully with all our parts. The last couple years smashed down some of my lights, left jagged edges, some old fears proving true in some plights. Ain't worth the wear on the ledges when the world reassembles. Some parts will be in junk drawers. Our lives will be deeper, and I'll still be yours. I'll still be yours. A simple shared meal is worth its weight in love. These walls, although tight, are a gift. We stare at the water, anticipating bubbles, awaiting the earth to shift. When the world reassembles, some parts will be in junk drawers. Our lines will be deeper, and I'll still be yours. I'll still be yours. The days dark and heavy, we were mourning the light. I snapped at you, you snapped at me. Like dogs who've been beaten, we bite. Human touch is a luxury. Some have not. Some roam the highways red. My presumed grief could crush me, 'cause I know what I've got. Count my blessings like crosses to bear. When the world reassembles, some parts will be in junk drawers. Our lines will be deeper, and I'll still be yours. I'll still be yours. I'll still be yours. Our wonderful host Laura is up next.
Right, well, this is the final song for the evening, and I want to thank everybody for being here. I had no idea how emotional I was going to become at this event, and I want to thank all my dear friends, Lisa Bastoni, she made me cry twice, Danielle Miraglia, and Jen Kearney. I love you as people, and sometimes you forget the amazing talent that you have, so thank you for joining us. I also think it's important that there are times when we stand for each other and we speak for each other when others can't. And I saw something that was also very touching this evening. Brittney Rodas had her daughter with her, and all I can think of is, my mother would have loved you. My mother would have been like, oh, how is she doing all of this? My mother was highly anxious. And one of the things that Brittney didn't get to really talk much about her story, and I encourage you to learn more about Brittney and learn more about her story and why she's fighting. She's only 25 years old, and I'm outing my age because I said she was half my age. And she has been writing policy for 5 years, and one point to touch on that really touched me was that she had a dad who was a Vietnam vet, and he passed away largely because he made about $7 too much to qualify for health care. And so, you know, we're all in this fight together. And this last song I wrote on the eve of President Obama being elected. I don't know if you remember, but it was 45 years to the day when they made the announcement at the Democratic National Convention that Obama was the first African-American presidential candidate. It's 45 years to the day to the March on Washington, when Dr. King was going to speak about the bad check that Black America had written white America. And it was gospel singer Mahalia Jackson who was there as inspiration, and she called out, "Tell them about your dream, Martin," reminding him to look towards who we should be and look towards the future. And at the time, it really struck me, and I wrote this song having this spiritual, beautiful African-American Mahalia Jackson be the voice of the muse that whispers to each generation and urges us to do better. And it had a lot of good reception at the time, but ever since 2016, I have a confession. I have not really been playing this song because I've noticed that, you know, I stopped playing it because my spirit imploded, and I started to feel foolish, because the lines are, "Keep hope alive, tell them about the dream." And I started to feel like, wow, I must be so naive. Look at what's happening to the world. Look at this bully and the bullying that's happening. And I was naive to say this, and I was naive to sing this. And I need to say that this event really started to bring my courage back. My dear friend Michelle Ottaviano has been working for Sister District diligently for since 2016, and she gave me courage. And Brittney gives me courage to be running for office. And I saw some Amish Mennonites standing and singing in protest with the Minneapolis protesters, and they were saying, you know, dismantle systems of oppression. And here they were in their Mennonite clothing from the 1800s, and I thought, what is more opposite to Twitter culture than people simply standing in the strength of love. And it really brought my courage back. I've been encouraged by the white officers in Ferguson who kneeled for 9.5 minutes in protest of George Floyd's death. So you guys all here have given me courage to sing this song again for everyone who is without health care. You know, we are not alone. For everyone who is marginalized, you're not alone. And for all the issues we discussed, you know, we're not alone. We have each other, and we do have a voice. So thank you, Sister District, for having us. Thank you, Brittney. Thank you to all my friends. And thank you to the spirit of Mahalia Jackson and Dr. King. I'm going to sing Tell Them About the Dream. There's a short distance between the world as it should be and the world as it is. Well, I've tried to talk to you through history. I am the muse. I whispered to John Adams, here's your vision. Now the rest is up to you. And he said, Jefferson, please pull through. Tell him about the dream. Keep hope alive. Don't let the darkness drag us down. It's our time to rise. Tell him about the dream. The vision that we see, a place where all men have an equal chance for prosperity. Tell him about the dream. But like Jerusalem, how you have fallen because your fathers made a much too great compromise. Oh no, you bartered your brothers for a greater cut of the very thing you said was everybody's right. And though the father's sins are visited on the sons, still I whispered to Lincoln, tell him about the dream. Keep hope alive. We may be tearing at the seams, but now we got to unify. Oh, tell them about the dream, how all men here are free. We're gonna reach out of this heart of darkness to a day we've never seen. Oh, tell them about the dream. Tell them about the dream. I whispered to Roosevelt how the people felt. He said there's nothing to fear at all but fear itself. It paralyzes. Don't you forget who you are in a crisis. Out of the ashes, you had new chances to finally be all you said, but you chose to segregate instead. But before your heart could harden, that's when I met Martin, and democracy was called forth by a king. When Mahalia cried, tell him about the dream. Keep hope alive. We're gonna make it over the mountain. Yes, we're gonna get to the other side. Tell them about the dream, the vision that you see, the one where all God's children walk together in the land of the free. Tell them about the dream. Tell them about the dream. So when you're down and broken-hearted, when anger flows like fire through your veins at the injustices you see, don't let the hatred spread. Don't fall into despair. Don't forget now who you are, 'cause there's a chance to repair. And words of hope stir higher action in times, Lord, when we've been fractured. Let words of hope drive away all doubt in the fierce urgency of now. I am the dream, your foundation, meant for all people of this nation. When your children ask what side of history did you choose for me? Come on now, tell them about the dream. Keep hope alive. that you can be. Cause a beacon on the hill's gotta shine with deep integrity. Come on, tell them about the dream. Tell them about the dream. I won't give up if you don't give up. It's about the dream, you and me. Oh, come on, tell them. Let's all tell them. Don't forget about the dream. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank everybody so much. Thank you, Laura and Lisa and Jen and Danielle. You were all amazing. That was a complete roller coaster ride. And that was such a great song to end on, Laura.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees. So I just want to say a few things. Also, so in addition to, thank you to our wonderful musicians, thank you to Brittney for joining us tonight, which is just
Hello.
we're just so overjoyed and overwhelmed to have you tonight. We're just so excited to be supporting you, Brittney, in this election. And thanks also to our organizing team. We just have a wonderful group of people on our team. It's just so, we're also grateful to have each other. And one way, the next thing I'm going to talk about is how you can help. Other ways you can help. And one way is by joining our organizing team. Helping us put on wonderful events like this is one of the things you can do. And if you're interested, you can just reply to any of the emails you've received tonight, any of the many confirmation and reminder emails you received for this event. We have lots of tasks behind the scenes, on the front lines, just all kinds of things you can do to help. Another thing you can do is you can phone bank with us. We're calling voters in Brittney's district, which, as you probably guessed, is super important now, now that Brittney and her people on the ground there can't canvass very easily. And yeah, so the other thing you can do is you can host your own virtual events like this for friends and family, smaller Fundraiser events if you like. So another thing you can do. So lots of ways to help. And again, thanks for everyone for coming. I'm going to let our host, Juliet, have the last word, but just wanted to say thank you to everybody. It was so nice having you all here.
Thank you, Patrick. Patrick and Michelle are the backbone of Sister District Mass Rhode Island. I mean, we could not have done any of this without you, so thank you. I have done a lot on Zoom over the past 3 months, and now I've cried on Zoom, which is a first. Seeing you all here, Brittney Rodas, who's putting herself out there for her state and her country, our wonderful musicians, Laura Vecchioni, Danielle Miraglia, Jen Kearney, and Lisa Bastoni, who are putting their words and music out there for inspiration, and all of you who are taking the time to support the good in our country. Seeing you all reaffirms my conviction that the bad guys may be loud, but we are stronger. And we really do have the best music. So thank you. Thank you all so much. Please don't forget to tip our musicians. Visit our musicians' websites. Those of you who have to get going, thank you so much for attending, and we'll see you at the next event.
And Brittney has a little bit more she could say to us now. I just wanted to welcome her back.
Thank you guys so much for the patience. This whole coronavirus and quarantine has been quite challenging to be both a candidate and a parent. Whenever I do these things, I usually just send my kids next door, or my husband will take them outside, but they're always really curious what I'm doing inside. So thank you for being patient earlier. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to hear the musicians play. You guys are so incredibly talented. I always said if there was one talent that I could have, it would be to sing, but I definitely was not blessed with that talent. So thank you for that tonight. And everything that you guys do for both my race and every other race that you get involved with, and activism, we are seeing more and more, as I said earlier, how important it is. And this gives me so much hope to know that there are people engaged on the ground in different states all across the country, really. Incredible level of activism, and Sister District has provided an opportunity for us to meet those activists. So thank you. And I really just can't say thank you enough for how much that you guys have done. And I'm excited to win this race together. We have several more months to do this. I'm excited to see what we do moving forward. But this was so enjoyable, and my daughter loved it. So thank you.
Thank you, Brittney.
Thank you. Courage. Let us go out into the world carrying some of the spirit from tonight and continuing it.